Let's do it. Okay. So, welcome everybody. On this episode of the Ask the VP, we have got Jin. Hi, Jin.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm ready to go. I got my energy drink, so I'm good.
You're operating on short sleep due to work.
Yes.
We'll be gentle with you. We'll be gentle.
I try not to sound like I'm too tired or no energy for you, but I'll try.
I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. You'll be absolutely fine. We'll dive straight in. So, with a community flooded with predominantly portrait or landscape VP, you've kind of carved out a name for yourself as the abstract VP queen. Your unique style is mind-bending, it's breathtaking, all at the same time. Is this a style you set out with in VP, and something you've worked on since starting doing VP?
Well, it's something that I've been working towards. When I initially started my Twitter page, it was back in 2019, and it wasn't for virtual photography. It was to there was a YouTube streamer that did everything on Twitter as far as like notifications and whatnot. But I met Mel, who's been a big part of the VP community. And I would play with her online, see her, pull out her camera when we're playing Red Dead and take pictures. And then it kind of piqued my interest. But it wasn't until I started playing other games with photo modes that I was actually kind of getting into it. And then I was like, okay, well, I was playing Days Gone and I went into the advanced settings because, I was like, oh, I can give this a go. And I was so overwhelmed with not knowing anything about it, So I decided to go in and research anything and everything that had to do with photography.
Yeah.
And in doing that, I was looking at the different types of photographers, and the ones that always caught my eye was abstract and surrealism photos. So I eventually, I ended up getting my own camera, and then I ended up, being more part of the VP community. And this is and it wasn't until 2021 that I actually was more committed of being part of the VP community.
Yeah.
And then I submitted a photo for the VP Awards, and it was for abstract. And I was one of the finalists that year. And it was the validation that I needed.
Awesome. Yeah. That must have been awesome.
It was, because it was the first time I actually participated in any kind of competition. And to know that I was a finalist, and it's taken me 2 years up to that point to get to that point, was the validation that I needed, telling me, okay, this is what I need to do. Yeah.
And do you find that all of that outside learning on the actual art of photography helped you in your VP? Is invaluable really in how you progress with your VP?
Absolutely, because it gave me a basic understanding about the camera tools, or just little things about composition. Oh, he got them. Hold on. And it also it ended up developing a love for the art of photography. And it actually pushed me and challenged me to do things that I probably wouldn't have done had I not got into looking into photography.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of VPs probably haven't done. Because a lot of people come to see VP fresh from playing video games, finding out there's a photo mode and jumping straight into it. Is, people with a photography background, you can tell from their pictures, whether it's composition, style, that kind of thing. People who have dabbled in real life photography or learn about real life photography, and I think it's a really invaluable kind of information set that people can go and research, like you did, to up their VP game and understand it a bit more. Was there anything in particular that you looked at? You said the abstract artist stood out for you, but was there any part of photography that you were looking at in particular, like lighting or composition or just everything?
Just everything in general. I would spend time, I would go on YouTube and YouTube videos about photography, about camera tools, about editing on specific apps that I use. I just anything and everything that had to do with it.
Yeah.
because I went into it not knowing nothing, and then when I went playing around with advanced settings and really not knowing nothing, it really got me going to like, okay, I need to kind of, if I'm going to take this a little bit serious and become making it my hobby that I want to spend my time with, I need to go. I need to go. At least know the basics.
Exactly. And you said it was Days Gone, wasn't it? You said that you dipped into.
Yeah, the advanced
Was
settings.
it? Yeah, the advanced settings literally are so overwhelming, aren't you? Because you don't know what anything does to change or anything like that. It's a really good photo mode.
Yeah, I was like, gamma? What's this red, blue, green? I'm like,
Yeah.
Gamma in the front, gamma in the back. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. So I was like, okay, I actually Googled what gamma was, like what it is. And then I'm like, I still don't understand it.
Oh yeah, I'll be honest. I don't understand half the things. To be honest, I just play around with it. Have you seen the guide that Sarah done for Days Gone, the filters guide?
It's on my it's bookmark because I haven't actually played the game because I have this thing where I'm terrible when it comes to driving. Anything that involves me driving or riding a motorcycle, I'm just terrible at it. So it's kind of, I mean, I like the storyline in Days Gone, but this driving portion, like I literally would walk if I could, and it's the reason why I haven't really gotten into the game. I have it, but I'll eventually get there.
Yeah, no, I get you. I've recently gone back to it to try and finish it, and it gets so much better. And that guide, I'm glad you got a bookmark. 'Cause that guide is absolutely brilliant at explaining parts of the advanced features and how to set up different filters is brilliant. Well worth a look. So we've got a question. It follows on from what we've been talking about from Sarah on Twitter or X, whatever we're calling it nowadays. So she said, given the less is more nature of your style, how do you decide what to photograph and what to leave out?
Basically, whatever catches my eye first. So if it's a shape, I'm going to stick strictly with the shapes. I might see if I can find like a shape within a shape or shapes creating like another image within it. Because I try to stick to that. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Because like with abstraction, when it's done really well, it stands out. But when it's not done well, it could be wild and like chaotic, and it'd be really hard for the person looking at it to understand it.
Yeah.
So I try to keep it as simple as I can to where whoever's looking at my photo will get, okay, I understand what she's doing. I know what type of subject she's, is focusing on shapes, or if I'm focusing on a texture or the reflection or just like a building. So that's pretty much what I do. Whatever catches my eye first is what I capture.
So did you have to, when you're doing your research in photography, did you really go deep into researching abstract photography? Because it is quite a difficult style to get right.
Yeah, I did. Actually, there's a YouTube channel that I looked into that went through the actual art of it and how abstraction, like very early stages of abstraction, could go back to like I forget the name of the scientist, where he was taking images from X-rays, and you can look at them, and it was some form of abstraction. And then, what's the one photographer that introduced the photograph? That was back in like, I think was it 1812. Like it's very, very early on. But yeah, I really did, because I was like, I went in and there was a couple of abstract photographers, and I'm kind of like trying to figure out, like, is this something I really want to get into? So I looked into the history of it. It's a very interesting one too.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you went really deep into it, and I think that's what the thing I was saying earlier is if people look into it and look into parts of photography or art or style and that kind of thing, there is so much information. Like you said, back through history and bits and pieces. I don't think probably a lot of people look at it enough. It is so interesting.
It is, and I feel like there's still so much more that I can learn out there right now. And I look forward to it every day because I know I learned something new. And God, there's so many photographers that are out there now that create such beautiful pieces, and then like with the VP community, everybody, there's inspiration can be found everywhere. So
Exactly, and we'll touch on where you find your inspiration in a second. So looking through your work, Control is a game that's heavily featured from when I was having a little browse. What is it about that game that attracts you to it, and why do you think the game lends itself well to your abstraction style of VP?
with Control, it's the environment, the lore behind it, the writing. I mean, Sam Lake is by far one of my favorite writers when it comes to the gaming industry.
Yeah.
He's freaking phenomenal. Like everything about that game, I can find some type of inspiration from. Every room is different. I mean, the oldest house is strange and mysterious place to be in. So, and I love every time I go to play that game, no matter how many times I play that game, I can always look forward to my playthrough because I'm looking at it at a different lens.
Exactly. And there's so many different shapes in that game, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Shapes, textures, like every room has its own like unique look to it. And that's what I love about it.
And it's so simple as well, isn't it? It's not overly, like you're saying about earlier, it's not overly chaotic. It's very simple how they've put it together with the shapes, the textures and things, but it just works so well.
Right. That's what I love about it. And even with the photo mode that's a part of the game, I mean, it's a very simple photo mode, but because of the environment that the devs have created for this game, the different, the atmosphere, you can create some beautiful photos with the very limited photo mode that's there.
Exactly. And that's credit to the game, isn't it? I mean, the game's, a reasonable age now, but within the community, the following of the game and the people who are dedicated to the game, it just shows the level of detail and the level of love that people have for that game. It's still carrying on.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And like I give props because like 505 Games, and they've been very involved into the community as for the VP community. Posting by the end of the month the Fade and Friday on their website. So they're still showing love for the VP community, and I just see every day I see like a new person taking photos for Control come in, so it's pretty exciting to see.
Definitely, and I think Barry set up Capture Control, didn't he? For the Control game as well.
Yeah, he did.
I think it was Barry.
Yeah, it was Barry and Lily. And they started the Jesse January, and that's such a fun, thing to be doing for the whole month of January. And again, they're for Control. I mean, they're very much, they love it, and they always post something for as far as in their web pages, representing the VP community, which that's why I really enjoy Remedy Entertainment and 505 Games, and they're just the love that they show for us is amazing.
It makes a difference, doesn't it, when you get a game studio or developer that buys into not just their game but the community of people who play as well. It does make such a difference.
Oh, it does. It makes you even more excited to take captures for them, no matter how many times you play the game. It just makes you happy to do that for them, to show them that we do appreciate the hard work you guys have done to create such a fantastic game. And this is kind of like our love letter to them.
And that's the thing. I mean, we're talking to Kevin from Bend last week. I think the studios really love that. And you can tell, like you're saying, when Remedy and Control share the virtual photography from their account and things, you can see how much they love seeing how much that we love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So we've got another question from Sarah. saying that obviously you successfully incorporate your signature abstract style into every game you take VP in. What game is your favourite for abstract VP, and which have you found to be the most challenging?
Okay, so we'll go with the easy one. My favorite is Control, because Control for me is how I decompress from work stress and just life. And that's where I usually go when I'm stressed out the most. But the hardest ones for me are the games that I have no connection with, because if I can't connect to it in a like emotionally, or mainly emotion, because a lot of my abstraction comes based off of emotion and how I feel. So if I can't connect to that game in any way or have it connect into my life, it's hard for me to create abstraction for it. But yeah, so I try to stick to games that if I post a lot, normally the abstraction games are the ones that I have a very emotional connection to.
Do you find games like, do you find you kind of resonate more with games which have kind of a small environment? Say Control has quite a small environment. Obviously there's lots of different things within the environment in the oldest house. But then if you have an open world game which is vast and has lots of detail, lots of bits and pieces, do you find that it's more difficult as well to take pictures of things like that, where the environment and the detail in the environment is more vast? Does that affect?
Yes, because I tried Horizon.
Yeah,
I can't connect to that game. And it's a beautiful game, don't get me wrong. It's absolutely stunning game. I can't connect to it. And so it makes it really hard for me to take photos. And then what's another one? No Man's Sky.
yeah.
You know, another game that's stunning. And I've seen beautiful, beautiful photos from that game, but I just can't connect to it. But those tend to be the ones I have the hardest time trying to take pictures for.
You've got to have that connection there, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I really do. Like it doesn't matter. It could be a game that it's not very popular, but if I have a connection to it, I can find some inspiration somewhere. And I've never been one to really kind of jump on the train of getting something super popular, because like I said, I just got to connect to it first to even create anything.
And do you find with those games that you don't connect with to do virtual photography, do you still play them as a game and forget the photography part? Or do you predominantly, when you play your games, you play it to obviously enjoy the game, but with virtual photography in mind?
A lot of times I start off just playing the game, trying to, understand it, to see, how I feel about it. Like I normally give it about a week of playing. And if I can't connect to the story, or it's just not getting, I'm just not excited to play it, then I don't even bother to open the photo mode.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. So there's obviously a balance to your style of VP, and Sarah says that obviously, especially with abstract portraiture, you want your viewer to recognise that they're viewing a face while also challenging the traditional portrait. How do you go about achieving that balance?
In order for me to distort the portraits, I need the subject body language. Like I need the posing to be a very strong pose to handle the distortion on the face. Like if I was to get rid of the subject's eyes or mouth, you still know it's a face, but the subject's pose is strong enough to hold that distortion. So that's kind of like how I pick and choose like what type of portraits to distort and to create those abstract portraits. But yeah, it all depends on like how I have the character posed in the portrait for me to do it.
So you have to have that kind of supporting foundation, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Because I need the body to be strong enough to hold up the abstraction part of it. And that way they know what they're looking at, but still there's still some abstraction to it. So
Yeah. Oh, that's handy to know. And what other Infinite Without Fulfillment asks, what other photography genres do you like using in your captures? So obviously you feature abstraction heavily. Is there anything else that you looked into when you're looking at photography, and any other kind of genres or styles of photography that you enjoy using in your captures?
I like doing high key.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy that. And I enjoy a really gritty, like black and white photo with like a heavy contrast. I do, if you see some of my work, it does have like, I do have quite a bit of photos that have grain in them.
Yeah.
Because I like that gritty look, that gritty texture it does, you know, that it creates on the photo and gives it that vintage look as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It sounds like you just like all the difficult genres of photography. I mean, high key is another difficult one to get right.
Oh, it is, because it's like lighting. You got to make sure you have like the perfect lighting to create that high key, and then also within the photo mode itself. So if it has like a really good like where you can adjust the exposure and the contrast and stuff like that. Like for Ghost of Tsushima, you can get some really beautiful high key photos out of there.
That's a great photo mode, that is.
Yes.
Love that game. But I wanted to mention as well, obviously tying in with the abstract theme. In April, you did a very special VP project for Autism Awareness. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you did and how the idea came about?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was like this year was my second year of doing it. I did do it last year, but I wasn't as involved with the project because at that time I was lacking the knowledge and I was still kind of learning about it. And what inspired me to create that project was my son. You know, he has autism. So as his mother, I'm walking this path with him. And I just kind of wanted to bring to light autism and how it affects everyone. You know, because I know there's many out there that are experiencing like everything my son and I are experiencing. And they may be experiencing for themselves. But just to know that you're not alone, I was hoping to just bring some kind of comfort to someone. And I wanted to bring to light some of the knowledge I wish I had known or found sooner when I received my son's diagnosis. Because there's things that I could have done sooner to help him achieve better.
The thing is that if you're going through it for the first time, there's not always directions of where to look, is there?
No, it isn't.
That's the thing.
It's so overwhelming. If you're, because my daughter, she's not autistic, so going through this was a totally different experience than when I raised my daughter, and there was no real like direction that you can go to figure out how to do what. Like, who do you go to talk to get diagnosis? Oh, well, you need to get a diagnosis. Or, well, okay, well, who do I talk to for that? So finding out all this stuff online, talking to doctors, it was just so overwhelming. And that's why I wanted to bring to light some of the knowledges or some of the signs that you would see with somebody who is on the spectrum. Because had I known these things a little bit sooner, I would have helped me a lot. It would have helped me a lot. And it would have been a little less stress on me trying to, get the things that my son needed at the time.
And I'm sure what the project you put together has helped loads of people with that awareness. I think that's the thing, that awareness is key. And what this stood out for me with this is that we all do our virtual photography, we all take our pictures, share our pictures, but to take that art and that medium and use it for something like this is amazing, absolutely amazing. And even if it helps one person, it's done its job, hasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Even if I reach just one person, I would be happy. And if others wanted to participate, because this is something I'm planning on doing every year until VP no longer exists on X. So I plan on doing it every year, and like I said, every year I'm learning something completely new, and I just, I look forward to, this journey I have with my son, and I'm just a sidekick in his little journey, so I'm just there to help him along the way, and if I can bring that awareness through virtual photography, you know it's my way of contributing and helping him.
And that's great. I mean, let's have a chat about, because I'm sure I can have a chat with Jack. We've got a projects part in the magazine. I'm sure we can have a little chat about how we can help support it, or how we can get involved, or other people can get involved. We'll have a chat about it.
Oh, that's amazing.
The more people who can help spread awareness for things like this, the better. So yeah, let's definitely have a chat about that offline and see what we can help with.
All right. Yeah.
So
Awesome.
no problem at all. No problem at all. We touched on earlier when we were chatting, you said about there's inspiration everywhere within the community. So where is it you find a majority of your inspiration for virtual photography? Is it the artists you look at with your photography, looking for information bits and pieces? Is it other virtual photographers? Where do you find your inspiration?
It's like all over the place. Like, I could watch a movie and feel inspired by something that happens within the movie. Music, live. Sometimes and when I say about Sam Lake being such a fantastic writer, and specifically with Control, there's these little quotes and phrases like you'll hear like the hiss incantation throughout the game. I'm like, okay, I'll take this sentence and I want to create an image based off of this sentence. So I'll challenge myself that way. Another thing I like doing is I look at different type of photographers, and there's been a few abstract photographers that I'm like, okay, I really enjoy their work. How can I do this in photo mode in a game? And I go and I challenge myself and see if I can achieve that look in the game. And sometimes it could just be based on like how I'm feeling. Like when I say with Control, how it decompressed from stress. An example of like on my page, what the photos I have pinned are all based on mental health. And that day that I made those photos, it was a rough night because we had a pediatric flight, and the kid was for suicide, and they succeeded, but it was a rough night because it was just nothing but mental health issues all throughout the night. So it inspired me to create that set.
What I love about what you're saying is how much of you goes into your VP. So many people are hooked on getting likes and putting stuff out there for people just to like to look at, but everything from you goes into your art.
Exactly. I mean, for me to feel like I commit as much time as I do with virtual photography, I want to make sure that anything I put out on my page represents me. And regardless of what the stats tell me, when I look at that photo, when I open up my page, I'm like, damn, that's a really good photo. And it represents me 100%. And plus the style that I do, it's not for everybody. It's an acquired taste. So I don't have that expectations of, I want to see so many likes and, retweets. Because again, I don't focus on that part. I focus on my art, and my art needs to represent who I am as a person. And that's why I spend so much time, especially with the abstraction, because it represents me. It's my way of expressing how I feel.
And you can tell that from looking at your work, every single piece of your work, just scrolling through your profile, you can tell that is how you think about it and how you want that to come across. It just shows in bucket loads. So you're well and truly achieving that. They always look like they have so much feeling, and it's absolutely brilliant. And I think more people should be like that. There's so much focus on numbers. We do this because we enjoy it. We do it because we want to connect with people. Just, if you put your feeling in it, it comes across, doesn't it? It comes across. What I'm basically trying to say is more people need to be like you.
But and sometimes, not all my stuff is kind of like sad, but I mean, when I feel like I'm kind of burnt out, I tend to be more lighthearted with my photos. So like, I'll do like really random, probably, I don't know, it seems like it's dumb, but like with Cyberpunk, I did, and I call them VP art projects because I do a lot of heavy editing to them. It's not necessarily like photography. So like with Cyberpunk, they have the tarot cards. So what I did was I created the tarot cards using only my photos that I took and recreated them. And then like with Ghost of Tsushima, I mean, I did a few VP art projects. Like I did pop art animal butts. Like I literally went around just photographing all the animals' butts.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And then like I did like, a play on like the wiki how. So I did an Iki how from the DLC, and it was basically how to put a band together, and I used the Mongols. And then like I did those retro like sci-fi horror, posters, and I did like Attack of the 50-Foot Mongolian. So like whenever I need something to kind of like give me a break from taking actual photos, I kind of do like an art project. Or I kind of, I look into like different type of photographers and see if I recreate, their work into photo mode. So like, I know there's all these things that I can do just to kind of like break down so I don't feel so overwhelmed that I need to post something right away or every day.
It's a good way to think about it, though. A lot of people think about, I need a picture to post, I need a picture to post, but doing it in kind of a project form, it makes more sense, doesn't it? It is a project, so you don't have to post all the time. You're putting a project together.
Exactly. It gives me time. I can enjoy the game. I can make it as silly as I want to or as serious as I want to, but it gives me time to like slow down. And
I'm getting so many hints and tips from you on this interview.
Happy to help.
Brilliant. But the thing is, I think what the interesting thing about talking to you about your abstraction is because it is more of a niche style. Not a lot of people know how to do it. Not a lot of people understand it enough to be able to do it. So it's really interesting hearing how you go about it, whether it's your feelings, whether it's your projects, that kind of thing. It's really interesting to hear about a genre that not many people get involved in. So it'd be good for other people to maybe experiment with it, give it a go.
Oh yeah, I mean, push yourself as creatively as possible because you never know how far you can go, and don't be afraid to post it because honestly, when I do comment on photos, it's because, especially if I notice it's something that's outside your box, like I don't typically see you post that type of photo. And I would actually say something and I'll make a comment because I can see you actively trying to be as more creative with your shot and think more outside of your wheelhouse. And I want you to know I notice it. Because sometimes you just need that little push or that little, you need a little cheer corner, to give you that confidence to post something that you typically wouldn't post. And
exactly.
Yeah.
And likes don't always do that, do they? The comment sometimes means more than a like because people actually noticed it that much that they will leave a comment for you. That kind of means more than, 100, 200 likes, doesn't it? The fact that someone's taken the time to comment on it.
Right. And I always tell I always say, it's about quality, not quantity.
Exactly.
Just because you have a photo that's out there and it's getting the stats that you like doesn't necessarily mean it's the best photo.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that one. There's several things. I see things on my feed and they've got thousands of likes. And yeah, I mean, when you look at how much work goes into your work or other people we've spoken to, the thought that goes into it, you do sometimes wonder how they get those many likes. And what's the difference between getting 1,000 likes or getting 10 likes and someone commenting because you have tried something out of the box, like you've said.
Mm-hmm.
Just means so much more. Definitely means so much more.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about Control. We touched on Days Gone and Ghost of Tsushima. What other games are your favorite games to play and capture?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's an awesome game.
It is. The story is fantastic. It hit me in the feels as a parent.
Yeah.
That's what got me with that game, was how it made me feel as a parent playing it. And, like when you see the Star-Lord's, Drax, and Nikki's promise, how actually pretty sad it was.
Mm.
And, it's making me about to get all teary-eyed talking about it.
The things I was surprised at how the story grabbed you in that game. I was expecting something like, it's a Marvel game, it's going to be overly fun, overly loud, overly out there. But the story was really good. I was really surprised by the game, and I think it's one of those games that, although a lot of people played it, it's still quite underrated.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean,
and the photo mode is brilliant in it as well.
Yeah, it's a fun photo mode, and it's actually probably one of the best ones you could use as far as abstraction, because it gives you a lot of freedom into it, where you can create different like glitch styles with the chrome aberration, and then also they do like a VHS where you can make it look like a distorted VHS tape. So it does, and then you can do like the negative filters. So it's a fun photo mode to use.
And it's a really colourful game, isn't it? It's colourful, it's bright. Again, various different shapes, especially the environments and bits and pieces. So again, probably lends itself well to, like you're saying, abstraction.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when you go to nowhere, the different shapes you see in that section of the game. It's like everywhere you turn, there's something you can take a picture of. And another thing, and when I talk about like photographers that kind of inspired me as far as abstraction, like Carla Kolowatz and Mori Japanese guy, Mori Dayama, I think that's it. Hold on. Yeah. They do a lot of street photography, but they do like an abstraction, and then they use like a grainy, heavy black and white with heavy contrast. So I did a photo in nowhere just based off of their specific style, and it's probably my favorite photo I've ever taken out of that game. And when you look at it, you can't even tell it's from that game.
That's the beauty of the abstraction, isn't it? Sometimes is that you can't you like the picture, you know what it is, but you can't tell where it's from.
Mm-hmm. Like you can't even tell if it's a real life photo or if it is actually from a game itself, and that's what I loved about it. And
you have to reshare it.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll reshare it again. But it's one of my favorites that I've taken in the game. But yeah, it's a phenomenal game to play. The voice acting, the actors that play Star-Lord, John McLaren, and like Rocket, Alex Wiener. I mean, those phenomenal acting.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? And they didn't try to be like the movies in there. That's what I liked. They didn't try to make it like the movies. They've done their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just worked. It just worked. Like you said, the voice acting, the character models. The character models were amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the way they were together, like even like the banter that they would have, in between, like you'll sit there, walking from one spot to the other, and the conversations that they have between each, the characters. I laughed so hard just listening to them chit chat amongst themselves with some of the things they were saying. Brilliant. I'm like, it was fun. It's such a fun game to play.
More people should play it. Definitely more. And they should make a sequel. They need a sequel.
Yes, they do. They definitely need a sequel. Other game I like to play are Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
And I enjoy playing Division 2.
Another good game.
Yeah.
Another good game. So did you play Division 1?
I did play Division 1, but I think because I played Division 2 first, I don't have that love for the first division. And I think it's because I'm not used to the inventory, like how things are set up in Division 1, because it's totally different than it is in Division 2.
Oh yeah, Division 2 was completely different, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was so hard to like, because I felt like I was going backwards.
But again, a game like not Distraction, can't get my words out now. Division 2, that's very street based. So did you find yourself kind of like being inspired by the artist you were talking about earlier with doing street photography in that rather than more shape abstraction?
Oh yes, like the oil spills on the floor, on the ground, in certain parts of the map in Division 2, like I would take photos of. The architecture,
So
the
what?
buildings. I mean, there's abstraction everywhere. The trash on the ground, even. Yeah, I did a lot. I have a lot too, and I still I have quite a bit that I haven't even posted that I've taken pictures of.
You got a nice archive to draw from.
Yes.
So when you go into a photo mode, what's from obviously using your style, what's the most important tool to you in a photo mode to be able to, achieve your style? What's the first thing you go to, the most important tool for you?
Well, for me, I at least wanted to, if anything, rotate 90 degrees or nothing at all.
Yes, yes.
If anything, this whole 45, like, I don't understand. If you were going to just do 45, you should have just left it alone.
Oh no, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one.
I don't know. I guess this is how, like a quick button or a way to get to it photo mode quickly without having to put it in the pause menu and get into photo mode.
Yeah, it takes away from well, not just the story, but the flow, doesn't it?
It does.
If you don't have a shortcut.
Yeah, because I have a hard time with action photos. So if I gotta sit here and have to pause to get the menu to put the photo mode back, on to take a photo, it makes things difficult.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, definitely.
And another thing, what was another thing I wanted? Camera, like a free camera. This whole I don't like this rotating around.
Oh, the orbit camera.
Yeah, like
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
rather I want my camera to be free and free to run wherever. Because
Oh, definitely.
yeah, because there might be something that caught my eye that I wanted to take a picture of, but sometimes I'm in camera and I'm kind of just like looking around my surroundings and something else caught my eye and I'm like, okay, I'd rather take a picture of that instead. So like, but when I get such a limited camera range and especially if it's just orbiting, it's so frustrating.
Oh, it is, and you said it there, camera range as well. Games that have really short camera ranges. I'm not going to mention. Well, we'll mention God of War. Yeah, no, short camera ranges are horrible, absolutely horrible. Final Fantasy 16, probably the last game I played with, which has got such a horribly short camera range. It's got a zoom. It's got a zoom and zoom in and zoom out, but you get so much distortion from zooming in and out.
Mm-hmm.
It just needs more camera range.
Right.
Definitely. No, I'm with you on that. We need to get rid of all orbit cameras. We need decent camera range.
Exactly.
And photo mode shortcuts on all games.
Yes. And what I liked about the photo mode shortcuts, so my son, every once in a while, he'll be on, he'll play on the PlayStation, and he likes playing Deathloop, and he figured out how to get to the photo mode. And because of the range being on that photo mode so vast compared to a lot of the games, he could spend hours just in the photo mode, just exploring the entire map. And so seeing him do that and just kind of dipping his toe into virtual photography, just, it tugged on my heart, to see that camera range gave him that opportunity to see the game in a different way.
How old is your son?
He's 6.
Oh, bless him. I've got a 7-year-old. I haven't introduced her to video games yet.
Yeah, he's 6. He loves God of War is his favorite. He loves Kratos.
Bless him. Everybody loves Kratos, doesn't
He's just like his mama.
he? Yeah, no, the range in Deathloop was absolutely amazing. And the good thing about photo modes that have a decent camera range is if you're finding something difficult in the game, you just go into the photo mode and you can have a look around.
Exactly.
Find out where the enemies are, find out where you need to go. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and sometimes with photo modes, I kind of like not necessarily use it for pictures. Sometimes I love lore behind video games. So sometimes I kind of want to go into photo mode to see if I catch something that I wouldn't catch if I was just walking through the game. So like if I see like something hanging on the wall that, you know, it's not a collectible for you to take, but it's just there and you can kind of read it. I like to jump into photo mode and like look at things that are technically just sitting there. So to see if I catch any kind of secret Easter eggs or whatever. But yeah.
And especially with the detail in game environments nowadays, there's so much information or stuff you can miss, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
Because you're too busy going through the game. But if you take the time to look at it, the detail, like you're saying, if you know, it could be a picture on the wall, it could be a plaque with writing on it, anything. There's so much detail, and I guarantee we miss most of it.
Oh yeah, and that's what I love about the photo modes, because it gives me the opportunity to kind of slow down and take a look. And I do that a lot with games that I really enjoy playing and I enjoy the storyline. So I'll spend a lot more time exploring.
Definitely going to do that a lot more rather than just taking photos. Definitely do that again. So you touched on earlier when you're on about your abstraction about editing. So do you post edit your shots? If so, what do you use? And it kind of ties in with a question from Infinite Without Fulfillment is how much of the abstraction do you add into a shot in post editing? And do you prefer to do that or do you try to avoid it?
Well, it depends on what I'm creating. So like for the distorted portraits, the abstract portraits, those are the ones that tend to be the most heaviest of editing. I do everything on my phone. So if B's listening, Miss Bianca, I do everything on my phone. I do not use a computer.
Me too. So
I utilize Lightroom and Snapseed, and I have a glitch app that I use to create the distorted portraits. With the portraits, I only edit it in that glitch app because I find if I start editing in Lightroom or Snapseed, then I edit in that app, it tends to downgrade the quality of the photo. So I just try to limit the amount of editing on that photo. I just edit everything into that glitch app.
And what's that glitch app?
It's called Glitch.
Oh, okay. I'll keep a lookout for it.
Yeah, it's called Glitch. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in the Android marketplace for Google. I'm pretty sure it's in Apple Store, Apple apps. So, but it's called Glitch.
Well, I'll definitely have to have a look at that because the only app that I've used, which I've used some of the glitch effects, was an app called Lumi, which had only a very select few glitch filters, but they worked really well. But no, I'll have to look for that app.
Yeah, it's called Glitch. I do also have Lumi. If I use Lumi, it's more if I'm trying to create that intentional camera movement, like look, the blurry look.
Yeah,
I do utilize Lumi for that because they have the best as far as it comes to using the motion blur.
Definitely.
And if I do that, I would use Lumi. That's one app you made me remind myself that I even have it.
I just find it so much easier to use the apps on a phone rather than doing it on a PC. It just, you can edit within a couple of minutes, dropping in and out of your apps. It's so easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, we do everything off our phones anyways. We're scrolling through social media on our phones, texting, everything's done on our phones because it's like within hand's reach, with arm's reach. So, having to pull out the computer, having to get it started up and do something, sometimes it seems more of a hassle.
Exactly, and the power of the tools in these mobile apps is immense, isn't it? There was a time when you didn't have apps like that to have the powerful tools on your phone, but I'm amazed by what Lightroom can do on my phone.
Yeah, and if the only time I ever use my Lightroom or my Snapseed, I like the way they use their overlay feature on Snapseed.
Yeah,
But with like Lightroom, the only time I ever really use those editing apps, it's like, say if I'm in photo mode on the game, I got it the way I want it to look, exposure, contrast, everything looks good. But then when I go and transfer it from my flash drive into my phone, it's off a little bit. So I will go into those apps just to kind of make the adjustments so I can get it back to the way I liked it, originally.
definitely. And that's the most annoying thing, isn't it? When you get something all lined up on your TV, it looks awesome, then you download it to the app or you transfer it with your flash drive and you're like, oh, it doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because now I gotta sit there and figure out how I need to adjust it on my phone. And I'm like, man, if I put this on my screen, I wonder how it will look.
Exactly. And plus, everybody, on their phones has their phones calibrated differently, whether they have vivid colors on, vivid colors off, brightness, dark mode, all that kind of stuff. It all affects how people see your image, doesn't it?
Yes.
I find that the most with if you're using an app, let's say X, for instance, if you've got light mode or dark mode on, the difference it can make having a dark background or a light background to your picture it's silly, absolutely silly. It makes such a difference.
It does, and I just hope that when I do post, that it looks good on everyone's phone. like
I can tell you, they do look awesome.
Thank you.
So we talked about the games you like playing. Which upcoming games this year are you looking forward to playing and capturing? I'm going to hazard a guess that one might be Alan Wake 2.
It's 1000% Alan Wake 2. Super excited about it. It's been I'm kind of late into the game as far as Remedy Entertainment, their games and stuff. Like I started Control like 2 years ago. And I'm like, why did it take me so long to get to this game? And then I started playing the Alan Wake, the remastered, and I'm like, this game is freaking fantastic. Why did it take me so long to get to this game? And then finding out that they're going to release Alan Wake 2, and I'm like, oh my God, does he get out of the dark place? Because like the way they ended it in the first one, he is trapped in the dark place. And I'm like,
don't tell me. I was going to let you into a little secret when you finished talking about it. I've not actually played the first one yet.
Really?
But don't worry.
Well, I didn't ruin it too much. You don't know how he got there.
No, he got there. It's one of those games that I've always wanted to play but never got to it.
Yeah, and I find it that when people are a part of the VP community, a lot of games that get overlooked are the ones that don't have photo mode. And it's kind of sad because you're missing out on a lot of really good games. And Alan Wake, the remaster, is fantastic. And yeah, it doesn't have a photo mode, but I'm like, it didn't stop me from not enjoying the game, because it's nice every once in a while just to kind of like play the game.
Exactly. And have they confirmed if there's a photo mode in Alan Wake 2?
No, they have not. And I'm hoping, because during the Gamergrams 3030, I was posting a lot of pictures for Control. And I noticed that Sam Lake actually liked and retweeted some of my photos. So I'm like hoping, well, if he see that, then he knows the power of virtual photography. Maybe he's going to put one in Alan Wake 2. So I'm only hoping that they will, because I mean, they've been a big part of the VP community with Control. Maybe it might persuade them to add a photo mode.
To be honest, I think it's probably almost a given, isn't it? Like you said, given their interaction with the VP community and the love they see for Control and the photo mode they put in there, I can't see them not putting a photo mode in it.
Yeah, even if they added the same photo mode from Control, I would be happy, because again, their games is so heavy and atmospheric and like the environment itself, you could be utilized to create the fantastic photos. So I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, even if they put the same photo mode from Control in there, like I would be happy.
Exactly. I think they will. I think they'll. I don't think they'll surprise us. I think they'll do what we want them to do. And if they don't, we'll make them do
it. Yeah, they will need to add the update.
Exactly. So next question is one we drop in every now and then. So obviously I get to ask all the questions of everybody that comes on here. But now you can ask me any question you'd like to ask.
Okay.
What would you like to ask? What would you like to ask me?
What motivates you? It not necessarily just in VP, but just motivates you in life in general. What motivates you?
I think probably the biggest motivation for me in all of my life is family. Family always comes first. Family is everything. It's what drives me to do nearly everything I do within my life. But VP is kind of, it doesn't motivate me to do VP. VP kind of sits outside of that motivation because, VP is my kind of release from everyday life, the stresses and strains. Like you're saying, the stress relief from your job. It's my kind of like little safe place to go to. So I'd say everything apart from VP, my motivation is my family. What job I do, what jobs I go for, the choices I make about things I do. My family is always at the heart of all of that. So they're my biggest motivation. And to be good enough for them, to be honest, that's the biggest motivation for me in my life. From VP, it's probably the social aspect. I don't mean that from the point of view of I want lots of likes, I want lots of followers, not that social aspect, but the social interaction, people with the same love of the art of virtual photography, and just taking tidbits and learning different things about different styles and genres. The stuff I've learned from you today, I'll use that because I like to know about different things. I like to broaden my horizons and try different things. So, yeah, that was a bit heavy, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's good. I noticed, especially because I'm 39, so like the social interaction for me basically consists of my kids. So having that social interaction outside of just being a mom and just talking to other people with the same interests as me, it's refreshing. It's nice. I don't feel so completely like out of the loop,
Exactly, because they do take all of your time and take over your whole life, don't they?
They do, and it's good. It's good. But sometimes I find myself like, if I'm talking to my kids, I'm like, my tone is different when I'm talking to my kids, and then versus like how I'm talking with friends in the community. So it's just nice to kind of get out of that mommy zone every once in a while and just mommy before kids.
No, definitely. And I think, especially a lot of the older virtual photographers in the community will get that. Even just playing games, you don't get to sit down and game all day for hours and hours and hours. You have to, your family comes first, then you game when you get a chance to game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole different beast, isn't it? But yeah, that's my main motivation.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good one. It's a good one.
It's probably the best one, isn't it? It's the best motivation.
It is, especially if and family is a good motivation for anyone, because when you have a strong family background, it helps you a lot throughout your life too, because when you struggle in life, you have somebody that's family that can help pick you back up. So it's nice to have that.
Definitely. So let's find out a little bit more about you. So besides VP, what other hobbies or interests do you have when you're not looking after helicopters flying around?
Actually, I've been getting back to weightlifting. So
I didn't expect that one. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, because I used to like work out, go to the gym, lift like before I had my son. And then after I had my son, I got in a car accident and really messed up my back. So I wasn't able to like go straight away back to the gym. So I just, for about a month now, I've been getting back into lifting. So yeah, it's another way that I release some stress. Like, I go to the gym like maybe 3-4 times a week, and to just kind of work out, lift weights, and see if I can get back to my pre-baby self.
Oh yeah, no, that's the other thing, isn't it? When you start to get old and you've got kids, is because they come first, you come second. So things like exercise and all that kind of stuff just comes trying to fit it in.
Yeah,
it's horrendous.
Yeah, because you're exhausted by the end of the day once you've done everything you're supposed you do throughout the day to take care of the family. So you're like, oh, I'm too tired to work out. But like now I'm like, okay, I need to actually start focusing on myself and health and everything. So I don't want to let myself go, and going outside and actually being outside and being active does help a lot mental health wise too. Because when you take care of your physical self, you can spend time to take care of yourself mentally as well. And another thing I like doing is outside of VP, I got into photography too. So sometimes I'll go for walks and I do like little photography like challenges. So I'll pick like a idea or a theme or whatever, and on my walk I'll just start randomly taking pictures on my phone. So I kind of mix the two things that I love doing.
Brilliant. And I think a lot of virtual photographers would actually love and benefit from doing in real life photography. Definitely, there's so much out there. In the games, we're kind of restricted, aren't we? As much as we're given the freedom within the game world, we're restricted. There's so much out there and so much beauty out in the real world. I think sometimes we forget about it, don't we? So that's brilliant that you do that.
Yeah, like you'll be surprised how far you've walked when you've been spending most of your time taking pictures.
Definitely.
You don't even pay attention to the walk necessarily. You're just too busy looking for your next photo, and and testing out certain things here and there. And because I'll go to some kind of nature. I'll go to a state park and just walk the trails and just take photos. And next thing you know, it's been like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I don't even realize it because I've been so involved in taking pictures. And then with photography, like ever since I got into photography, I see movies and music videos totally in a different light now because I understand it better. And with cinematography now, like I understand, okay, why this cinematographer did his shot this way for this movie or whatever. So like I see things differently. So it's refreshing when you actually like make take the chance to actually get to really know or understand photography just in the bare minimum.
Definitely, and that's definitely something which everybody should do, is at least look into the basics of photography, because it will help so much. Definitely help so much. So let's talk movies. What's the one film you've watched the most and could watch 1,000,000 times more?
Predator. I love Predator. I love the lore for Predator. I was even Predator for Halloween last year.
And is the original your favorite?
The original, yes. Predator 1 and 2 are probably the only two. Okay, I take it back. Prey was pretty good.
Prey was awesome. I didn't expect that. That was actually really good.
I didn't either, but it's such a gorgeous movie too. It was so atmospheric. It was just, it's just gorgeous. But overall, Predator, I've watched it so many times. But I also like to do that because of Alien, Predator and Alien. I like the lore behind that. And then I'm really big into Star Wars. And I've watched everything in order multiple times. And so, yeah, I'm pretty big on those 3 movies.
So you're watching Osaka at the moment?
What I do is I wait for it to group all up to the end of the season, and then I watch it.
You binge it?
Yeah, I binge it because it's so frustrating having to wait the next week for the next episode.
Oh no, I get you. Yeah, no, definitely.
So I rather just watch it all together.
It's a good series so far.
Yeah, I'm
That's all I'm
going
going to
for
say. I'm not saying anything else. And
it.
what about music? What sort of music do you listen to?
Oh, well, my music taste is pretty much, it's all over the place. Like, I can listen to like country music, all the way to like new wave, like 80s, new wave, um and everything in between that. I mean, I listen to everything, pretty much everything and anything. And like depending on what I'm doing, like if I'm editing, I listen to a lot of trip hop.
Yeah.
And or like an indie like rock bands. But when I'm working out, I listen to a lot of like Wu Tang or like 90s rap music. So I'm all over the place.
Oh, 90s music was brilliant.
It was like 90s R&B. I mean, nothing says love like 90s R&B songs. Like it's just not the same anymore.
Definitely not. We're sounding really old, aren't we? Nothing's the same anymore. It's better back in the old days.
Oh, what? Yeah, for sure. Like nostalgia. I love it. Like, and now, even though like I grew up listening to all different types of music because my dad was pretty much the type of whatever he's listened to, I have to listen to. Whatever he's watching,
Mm,
I have to watch. So like
yeah.
I got a lot. I got to see and hear a lot of like things that were even before my time. So, and in all honesty, I'm not mad about it because it introduced me to a lot of really cool things. Um, had I not got the chance to.
I think it's really good to have that open kind of like view on
Hmm.
music, even movies and bits and pieces. I think obviously some people prefer a certain genre. They can get kind of like tunneled to that genre, but there's so much good music out there.
Hmm.
If you like the sound of it, listen to it. I don't, that I think gone are the days when there were so many hang-ups about the kind of music you liked, and people people take the mick or anything about what you like. I think if you like listen to it, listen to it. I listen to such a wide range, like you. I was a child of the 80s and 90s, and that kind of music. Yeah, I like some modern music. I like listening to instrumental music. Just if you like the sound of it, listen to it. I love it.
Right, right. Like, and it's so funny because I know it's a very Korean thing to do, but I enjoy karaoke. And every once in a while I might go up there and sing a country song. So yes, there will be a Korean girl singing country music on a karaoke stage. So like, Redneck Woman by Gretchen Wilson.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
No, so like
So
I'm just all over the place.
let's get to my favorite question about things that people like. What's your favorite food?
Oh, hands down, it's ramen and just Korean food. Like I enjoy it. But as of late, because I'm lifting again, my diet is not exciting at all.
It's in a
It's not exciting at all. It's just heavy protein, carbs and whatnot. But I mean it's not exciting as eating a bowl of ramen.
oh, definitely not, definitely. But you can aim for that at the end.
Yes, yes. When I want to go and bulk up, when I'm not, because right now I'm at the stage where I'm trying to lose the weight while building muscle. So I gotta
Mm.
wait until I lose the weight before I can go to do the whole bulking up stage. So like now I'm like kind of like, I wish I could have a hot bowl of ramen. Because at work, I would cook at my desk at work, and I have like a ramen cooker, a little hot pot. And I would have I have a ramen drawer, and the drawer is just full of different type of noodles.
Oh, that's awesome. So you really strict with yourself when you're doing your training. You don't let yourself have any little treats.
Yeah, as of right now, I have been like very strict with what I've been eating. And it's been hard because it's like I'm a snacker. I like to just take little snacks throughout the day, but now I actually have to force myself to eat a proper meal. And when you my diet, I'm not you're not starving. You're like eating 4 to 5 times a day.
Yeah,
Oh, and it's like I mean 4 or 5 times a day, things I typically don't want to eat.
doesn't it's not fun, is it?
So but yeah, like ramen, definitely ramen. I do love ramen and then Korean food. Like I can sit there and just eat that for the rest of my life and be completely content.
Oh, you're making me hungry. Making me hungry. So let's get back to talking about games then. So we talked about Control and the games you're looking to forward to this year. And we kind of chatted about other games as well throughout our conversation. But what would be your all-time top three? Is Control at the top spot?
Yeah, Control. It's so hard because every game that I played and had a connection to it, I had a connection to it because in some way or another, whether it's been life or just like how I feel or I connect with the character. But Control, yeah, it's definitely there. God of War, the 2018, like to see Kratos in that light versus how he was in the previous God of Wars, just full of like pure rage and revenge, which don't get me wrong, was awesome to watch him. Loved it. Those QTEs were fun. But, you know, to see him in a more softer light and trying to kind of redeem himself, it hit me in a different way.
It was an awesome game.
Yeah. And then like like when we talk about Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, like how it hit me as a parent, just like Star-Lord's, Nikki, Drax's like promise when you're playing through their promise and how they had to let go. It just hit me in a certain way. Like, you know, it just made me think of my kids. And but there's like other games, you know, like with Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, God, there's just so many. I love them all. And then like the BioShock series.
Oh, they need to make another BioShock game. Those games were awesome.
Yeah, I there's one that they're making called Judas, which I believe it's called Judas, and it's kind of I guess it's the same creators from BioShock. But I haven't heard anything else outside of that, you know. Uncharted, Uncharted series, like fantastic, great. I really enjoyed it. And then like, you know, even the Tomb Raiders. Yeah. So there's just so many games, but my top three would ultimately be Control, Guardians, and then I would say God of War.
That's a good top three. Very good top three. So I'm just going to say now, before we get to the last question, if anybody listening live has a question to ask Jin live, put in a speak request. We've got one more question left, and then we'll get to any live questions once we've done this question. So last but by no means least, do you have any advice or tips for people new and old in the VP community that you'd like to impart on them? I know we talked about how you approach your virtual photography and not look at numbers and bits and pieces like that. What ultimate bit of advice would you give to people in the VP community now?
I usually try not to give advice because I think I sound like a mom when I do.
But you are a mum.
Yes, but you know, I'm not everybody else's mom.
That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, so like, because I don't want people to feel offended when I say it, but like, you know, if the first thing you notice about your photo is the stats, then it's not your best photo. Because if you're focusing more, you're showing more love for the stats than your own work, it's a disservice to yourself as an artist.
Definitely.
And it doesn't push you to be better. It only pushes you to have better stats. And you know, because and with that stressing over things like that, it's just going to eat you up, and you're not going to enjoy your journey in virtual photography, and you'll be like the next person who, you know, after a month or so in, feel like they need to take a break because they're not getting the results that they hope for. You know,
well, that's the thing. I think if you're in it for the right reasons, which to be honest, we all love virtual photography. That's the reason we're in there. That should be ultimately the most important thing. You love your art, you love your craft, you love playing games. That should be enough. But I think the problem is where we share our work is a social network, and that always comes with its pitfalls, doesn't it?
It does, and you know, we touched back on this. It's the validation, to feel validated. And another thing is nowadays it's the instant gratification. You know, for me, it took me 2 years to this point to actually figure out what it is that I wanted to do and what type of virtual photographer I wanted to be. It didn't come overnight. It took me 2 years. And a lot of the people that came before me, it took them a long time to become established. So the feeling that, seeing those that come in and within a few months, so talk about how disappointed that they're not getting the results or the things that they hope for, it's sad because they're just not, enjoying the journey.
Exactly. And I think that's what a lot of people coming into the community think, that it is, like you said, just that quick gratification, that quick fix. You'll come in, you'll share your photos, you'll be instantly liked. You don't, when you first get into virtual photography, you don't know your style. You don't know what you want to do with it. You're just taking pictures that you think look good. You have to work at your craft. It's like anything else. You have to work at your craft to hone your craft. You can't just drop into it and expect people to shower you with follows and likes. It just doesn't work like that, does it?
Yeah, I mean, if you put in the bare minimum, that's all you're going to get.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
If you're not challenging yourself, then, how do you expect to get better or to have the results that you want? You're going to have to work for it. And a lot of people that are in this, that have been here for a long time, have worked for it, and even have, like, with Kevin working over at Ben Studios, and then Mick and Ruben and many others that have been out there and have actually interacted with these devs. They put in the footwork to do it.
Exactly.
So you're going to have to do more than just the bare minimum to get what you want as far as as far as virtual photography. If this is something that you're really passionate about, it's going to take more than the few months that you've been a part of it to do it, to get there.
Completely agree. I tell you, one thing I'd like to see, and it's there's a very fine line between whether it's constructive criticism or whether people are just piling hate on things, is everybody comments on a picture saying what they like about a picture. What I think some people would benefit from, or will be beneficial to a lot of people, which we don't get a lot of within, whether it's the virtual photography community or any probably social community, is the constructive criticism. What people, not necessarily what people don't like about your pictures, but like you were saying earlier about, you'll put a comment on a picture that you can see someone stepped outside of their box, they're trying something different, that kind of thing. Is nobody tells us what doesn't work with our pictures. If we are trying a style and we're not getting it right, nobody says, oh, it's really good, but if you're trying to go for this, maybe try doing this or looking at this, that kind of thing. It's kind of, I know it's social media, everybody wants to be liked, everyone wants to be followed, everyone wants it to be rosy and have good comments. But I think sometimes if people are constructive with their criticism, that could almost benefit people more.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen that before, where somebody might have mentioned something, perhaps they could have worded things differently, but give some type of criticism on a photo and the individual didn't take it so well.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah, so they're like, I post this picture because I didn't want criticism. I post this picture because I liked it. Well, now you don't know who wants it, who wants the constructive criticism or not. So, a lot of times you wait until somebody posts something and then they kind of, hint like, hey, I would like some criticism on this photo. What do you think I could do to improve it? A lot of times, there's been times where people actually came and sent me messages and asked for suggestions or what I could do with this photo. And, I'm more than happy to help, or take their photo, do a quick edit to kind of explain what it is that I'm trying to say to them. Because sometimes showing them is easier than explaining.
Exactly.
And so, I would do that and help them with that way, in that way. But a lot of times I kind of just wait. If somebody wanted, ask me about something as far as abstraction, they send me a question in Messenger and I'll respond back. No problems, responding. I tend to not say anything else outside of what I kind of notice that the person's doing that's outside of their box. Because I don't want them to take my criticism badly,
Yeah.
I'd make them feel like it's unsolicited. So,
Yeah, it's a hard one. Hard one. So we've got somebody waiting to ask you a question. So Cynthia would like to ask you a question. So let's get Cynthia on. Just to prove your request, Cynthia. Cynthia, can you hear us? Are you there? Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Jen. How are you?
Good. Finally waking up, but I'm good.
Finally. I had my second cup of coffee during this, so I hear you. Yeah, so first of all, fantastic interview. And I really want to say that, I've just been a fan of your work for a long time. And my question is, it's not related to your work, but it's something I'm curious about. In your bio, it says helicopter whisperer. And I've just always been curious about that. But if it's something personal, please, don't feel pressured to share it. But it always intrigued me. What does that mean?
Okay, helicopter whisperer. So I try to post what I do for work without actually really posting what I do for work.
I kind of have an idea. So let's see if I'm right.
Yeah, so I do flight following for a medical helicopter.
That's what I was thinking. Very cool.
Yeah, so I talk on the radio. So I do flight following communications for medical helicopters for our program, and there's we have a total of 4 that service the whole state of Florida.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, that's the helicopter whispering part.
That's kind of scary since, I'm also in Florida. But it's good to know that, hopefully I never need the service, but maybe you'd be helping if we ever did.
If you do, and we're flying out there, you'll be in good hands.
I believe it. Also, when are we gonna play Legends again?
Oh
Girls
man,
Night,
I know.
remember?
Yes, I remember Girls Night. Oh, that was so much fun.
It was.
Oh man, I just been so busy because the kids start school.
Yes,
and when the kids are in school, it's so hard to find time.
Oh, I know. I get it. I really listened to your talk about your son, and I just want you to know that it touched me when you're making these projects and everything, and with the hope that maybe you'll reach at least one person. But I want you to know too that there's people here for you as well, because we both share very similar struggles, and we're also in the same state. So personally, I understand about trying to find services and things like that and how difficult it can be. And just as you really touched on, finding out the information you need. You don't know where to go. There's no guidance out there for any of this. So it is really hard because we only want the best, the best outcome for our kids.
Right. Yeah. It was one of the things that I had an issue with, was trying to figure out where do I begin and where do I start? And then not realizing that the wait list for a lot of these things are extremely long. So it took me almost 1.5 years to get to him the things that he needed.
Yeah, I know. It's sad. It's this is the state of things.
Yeah.
But
yes,
I hear you.
I'm glad. It is comforting to know that there's others like us that are, in that boat, and that we're not by ourselves, that we have a community that can help each other out. And I'm just, that's why I did it. I want others to know that you're not alone.
It's beautiful. And your son is still very, very young too. Mine's 11. So certain things will get easier. I just want you to know that, because, I remember it when my son was your son's age, just how different things were. Just by virtue of how young they are. So things will, some things will get better. I don't know how to put this because I'm struggling here with emotions as well. But.
I know, because you're kind of getting a little choked. You get choked up about it, and it's just that, some days are fantastic. Some days are just not.
Yeah, it's up and down.
It is. It's really up and down. And then but every milestone that he reaches, no matter how small that milestone may be to somebody who is, neurotypical, it's a milestone nonetheless, and we celebrate every single one of them, no matter how late in the game it comes along. So yeah,
exactly.
I know.
And people with children who, don't have the same struggle, like being a parent is hard in general. So, I just don't want other people to feel like, I don't know the word I'm saying. I can't think right now. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I get you. I think it is a struggle. And I think the important thing here is like what Jin's doing is the awareness, get the awareness out there, whether it's autism or anything else that people have got going on. But also within our community, we're all here to talk to.
Yeah.
We may not know or everybody know each other personally, or anything like that, but you make acquaintances, people who have similar interests, and I think we're all here if people do want to reach out to have a chat, to vent, or anything like that.
Yes.
for sure.
Definitely.
Anyway,
We,
I'm done now.
no, thanks, Cynthia. Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
Thank you.
So, Jin, we have come to the end of our little chat. Thanks so much for coming on. I've really loved that you really come into this, and it's come across that it's really personal for you, and that's what I really liked about this interview. To get to know you as a person, which has been really great. Definitely, let's get in touch and see if we can help do anything or have a chat around your project for next year. See how we can get involved or help with that. But it's been really great to talk to you. Really good. Learn a lot about abstraction. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Oh, I did. It was fun. It was fun. Now I'm like kind of cringing because I don't know how I sound over the phone. So I'm like, But anyway,
You've sounded brilliant. Don't worry. You sounded absolutely brilliant. It's been really good to chat to you. Have a good rest of your day. Go and get some more sleep or another cup of coffee.
for sure, for sure. All right. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. We'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.